What's up, you gremlins? Today I've got a Rust solo base design that'll make you feel like Kevin McAllister. This Rust solo base design features 10 bunkers, tons of mobility, peaks on every floor, and a fully furnace funneled compound to make raiding it pretty hard. On top of all that, it's cozy as fuck, so with that being said, let's take a tour of this solo fortress. Alright boys, we're back with another tour of a Rust solo base design, of course. Getting right into it, we'll go check out our external TCs. We got some freehand bunkers on these suckers, which are good for holding a battery or some loot early game. And then we got our upkeep here. We got a multi-TC base design here, so the externals are going to upkeep a lot of the base. Disconnect your TCs like this. Reconnect them with 2 more frames. Upgrade, of course. Got another TC on the other side of the base, same exact thing. Heading into the compound through our gatehouse, we got a single door airlock, and then we got some head glitch peaks looking into each quadrant of the compound. If those walls go down and you have to fight from here, you'll have a nice line of sight. Heading into the compound, we got enough space for pretty much every deployable you need. You can start a little farm here, you got oil refinery, large furnace. We've also got turrets staring at those walls, just waiting for them to go down. Heading through this double door, we've got a bed pod over here in the corner with a locker. You could throw a battery there as well, and then you'll see we got nice angles into the compound. Going through this door, we've got some more drop boxes up here, because why not, right? And I connected this area to the base as well, so you can get outside to your compound bedroom safely. This next side of the compound is exactly the same as the other side, of course. We got our planters and our turrets and our furnaces. And then heading into the base, we got the main mobility right here. Got some drop boxes inside. We got furnaces for the jump up, and then we got a nice little one-way peak going into the second floor. Got a bed here as well with some peaks into the compound just in case. And then of course there's more on the other side. Heading into the second floor, we've got a bunch of space in here. I decided to throw an auto smelter in here because they're sick. It might look like there's no storage on this floor, but there's actually 4 bunkers in this room. We've got a multi-TC roof bunker here with 2 vending machines. And then on the other side, we've got another one, of course, because symmetry. And then we've also got some PixelGap bunkers right here. All you have to do is upgrade to Adobe, and you'll be able to reach in through the gap. These are extremely sneaky, and I could definitely see raiders missing one of these. I saw these over on Spinky's channel. There's a lot of great information over there, so make sure you go check them out. But yeah, like I said, these are really sneaky, which is important in any Rust solo base. Anyway, we got another one on the other side, same exact deal. If they don't have the Adobe skin, it's 4 rockets or $12.99 to get into your loot, so everyone has their price, boys. Anyways, continuing on with the rest of the tour, we got our mobility up to the roof. We got these half-height window peaks that let you peek up to the roof or down to the second floor, whichever you need. You can see all the way down to where your compound bedrooms are if that door's open. Behind us, we got an easy drop down right to the compound through this doorway. You're protected by the roof as well, so people won't be able to see you when you're jumping down. Going back up, we got a couple more peeks into the compound behind me. Simple yet effective, of course. And then over here in the corner, we got another drop down into the compound. You can shoot down from here or you can jump down. Heading over to our roof bedrooms, we got a single door to open them up, and then we got some peaks. These are pretty nasty. You can look down into the compound, and then if you crouch, you can look far away with a nice head glitch. And if you want more storage, you can throw some boxes above the embrasure. And obviously you got another one on the other side because symmetry, baby. We got these triangle roof ramp peaks that give you great angles close up, far away. They also give you a cheeky angle on your externals, which is always nice, especially if you're holding your loot in there. There's also another bunker in this room. If you upgrade that to Brutalist or Adobe, then you can reach behind it to some boxes that we've hidden. It's not super strong, but it's a great way to hide your loot. And then there's another bedroom section on the other side that's exactly the same, so I'm not going to show it. Here you can open your door, you get a tiny little peek, whatever. And then over here we got another bunker. Of course you can use it to sell loot, or you can store it overnight, one way or the other. Doesn't really matter to me, dog. Next we'll go check out the starter. You can get down there quickly by using your drop downs. The best part about this Rust solo base design is that you can defend from basically any point in the base. No matter where you're standing, you're like seconds away from a peak, which is super nice. Anyways, going through this armored door, we're into the starter unit. You get enough space for your early game loot. The TC is protected by a vending machine, and it's just really cheap to get down right away in your wipe. And then going behind the vending machine, we get a look at our main TC upkeep. It's definitely not cheap, taking into account the externals, but this base is designed to take you from a humble solo starter unit to an absolute fortress. Anyways, I think that's about it for the tour. Now let's go check the stats of this bad boy. I know I already mentioned it, but this Rust Solo base design is not cheap. The build cost with deployables is about 45k stone, 38k metal, and 550 high qual. The upkeep's a little cheaper because the base is multi-TC. It's going to be 7.7k stone, 6.2k metal, and 68 high qual. With that being said, don't let the cost deter you because you'll have bunkers pretty early on in the build, so it's not really a big deal. The full raid cost is about 1 million rockets. I'd recommend this base for you if you play monthly, bi-weekly, Stevious, Blue Lagoon, anything like that. Anyways, that's enough talking. Let's get right into the build. Alright, so we're going to get started by making a little triangle half moon. After that, if you have a brain, you'll place some walls so you don't get deeped. And then we'll place a double door opening inward, outward, I don't really care. And then you have to place the TC on this side of the base, otherwise you won't be able to open the door for your vending machine bunker. You're going to want to place it pretty close to the border of the triangles. And then once you've done that, we'll seal it in with a single door so people can't get to it if they kill you with your door open. Inside this humble starter, we've got enough space for just the basics. We got a furnace, a large box, and a bag. After this, you'll need more room pretty quick, so we'll expand like this with another half moon to create our bow tie shape. That's why we call it the gentleman. Wall it in like I do, of course, and then have a single door opening on the opposite side from the TC. After you upgrade, place a door on that sucker, and then you'll have enough space for your workbench and some extra furnaces and boxes. If you stand next to your front door, you can slide the workbench into this corner here, and you'll be able to fit a small box and a furnace next to it. OMG, so cozy. After this, spam some garage doors once you get the blueprint. Shouldn't take you too long. After that, do a little reorganizing so you can optimize your loot space, and you should be left with a nice little starter. Once you're ready to keep building, go outside to your front door and build out by 2 triangles, like so. Then go out 7 squares. Doing this will give us a multi-TC gap. Cap off those squares with a triangle, and then build back using triangles. Build back bit by bit, and then demolish what you don't need anymore, so you don't have to waste tools on breaking twig. Also, don't hold your HQM on you while you're doing this, because you might just accidentally waste some. Anyways, I'll just speed this up because it's boring, and you're going to see me do it again anyway in a couple minutes. Anyways, the build out is going to create what we call a multi-TC gap, which is what allows us to make the bunkers you saw on the tour. Anyways, once you build back to the base, place 3 triangles so that the tips are just touching the base. Get rid of the rest of the garbage, and then you can upgrade it to stone for now, but I'd recommend doing metal right off the bat, just not to waste resources. Build out 2 squares. This is going to be your compound bedroom, and then build out twig like I do here. 2 triangles, 3 squares, and then 3 more triangles at the very end. These 3 triangles are going to be your freehand bunker, so we're just going to go ahead and metal those up right off the bat. Get rid of the middle one because we're going to need room for the freehand foundation. Get rid of all that too. On this left side, you can place a door, hard side facing out, and then put your TC in the middle. Make sure you put a door on there instantly so no one can kill you and take your external. After that, we'll place some twig triangles on the right and left sides of this little bunker. They're going to make it easier to line up the freehand. After that, stand like parallel to the structure. And then you can kind of just slide this square in. I'm not going to go too in depth because Crow already made a really good video about these bunkers, so I'll link it down below if you need help. Once you place your foundation, put a wall up where the bunker will be, and then test if it opens with a roof. Also make sure the gap's not too big, otherwise people can just destroy your stuff from outside. Like that's way too big, so we're going to have to try again. This is hard at first, but once you practice it a little bit, you're going to be doing it really easily. I think this one's pretty much going to be perfect. Check for a gap. Literally barely any. That's exactly what you want. It doesn't have to be that good, but you want as small of a gap as possible. And then if you want to open it with a triangle, build out triangle, square, triangle, and then build back triangle, square, triangle. And then you can upgrade it all to metal once you're satisfied. Now that you made your bunker, you can put whatever you want in here. You could do a battery, you could do some loot. If you don't plan on finishing your base day 1, I would just put some loot in here so you can have some safekeeping overnight. Throw a few boxes in there like this, and then you can add a wall frame for some extra stability, so you can actually connect this back to the rest of the base. Next, we're going to place a floor frame coming off of the external. Make sure you don't place it accidentally onto the free-handed wall, otherwise the bunker won't open. Next, we'll come over to this triangle and place 2 half walls on the side that lines up with the external. And then we'll just upgrade it all to metal. And you can place your wall frame there for a little stability. And then reconnect it with more floor frames. Upgrade those to metal, of course. Next, we're going to extend the airlock a little bit, so upgrade these to metal if you have it. And you can add some wall frames here for stability. Two walls on the sides. Roofs where I place them. And then a doorway in the middle. And then once we've done that, we can go add a jump up from the outside. And for a little bit of extra safety, we can just add some garage doors in there. If you have the resources, I'd recommend metaling up the TC compartment and like the little loot room next to it as well. Once you get a little bit of high qual and some gears, then we can add our first bunker in. Go right above your entrance, and then you can wall it off with metal walls. I'm gonna go nice and slow so you guys don't get confused. When you place the vending machines, put a twig floor right there, and then line yourself up with the tip of the triangle and the other walls. Make sure you practice this part on a build server, otherwise you might ruin the base. If you don't place the vending machine back far enough, then you won't be able to place a wall in front of it, so you won't have a bunker and you can't pick up the vending machine. Just like that. And then you can get your vending machine out, line yourself up with the middle, and place it as far back as you can. Just double check that you can place a wall there, which you can. Then you'll angle this other one to the left, so that way they can't open it through the small crack. Put an HQM wall in front of these once you place them, and your base is instantly 15 rockets stronger. We need to put a roof over these, so we'll place some ceilings and make sure they're coming off the main TC, not like the second TC. Look right there, it's coming off the second TC, so the bunker won't open. So you have to place them from up here. Make sure they're coming off the wall frame. I'll just show you what happens so you don't ruin your base on accident. That's not what you want. That is. Now to stop that other side wall from opening with the bunker, we'll place a little bit of honeycomb here. And then we'll place wall frames that'll end up holding up the shooting floor. Now that we've done that, only the bunker will open, the side wall won't. Very nice. Then place a double door or a garage door here just to secure it a little bit more. And there you go, your first bunker is complete. At this point the base is already pretty strong. You have 2 bunkers, an 8 rocket TC. Before we work on our other external, we'll just go ahead and replicate this little honeycomb shooting floor hold up on the other side. And with that, we're ready to work on our second external. Once you're ready to work on the other side, we'll go ahead and do the exact same thing once again. Build out 2 triangles, 7 squares, and cap it off with a triangle. And then we'll slowly remove the squares while building back with triangles and demolishing the stuff we do not need. I'll leave this one at normal speed so those of you who are too lazy to slow down the video can watch in real time. And then once you make it back here, you can just put triangles so the tips are touching the outside of the base. And again, once you upgrade these foundations, you'll notice a small gap in between the main foundations and the new ones. Get rid of all the garbage. And then once again, we'll build out 2 squares, 2 triangles, 3 squares, and 3 more triangles at the end. Just like before, this is going to be a freehand bunker, so just make them metal right off the bat and get rid of the twig. Pop your TC pod in here. Door it off instantly. And then finish the other side. Then we'll put 2 twig foundations on either side. And then in the other compartment, you can put a battery. Again, seal it off with a single door as well. And then we'll get ready to place our pre-hand foundation. So again, just stand parallel to the building and kind of slide that square in there. Once you got your square in place, just place a wall and test that it opens up properly. That is perfect. Love when you get these first try. You can get rid of the garbage on either side and then upgrade the wall and the foundation to metal. And then this one, since there's a square under it, you'll open it with a square. And to reconnect this to the rest of the base, just place a square frame on the top. And then we'll build out our little, this will be a locker pod, but put 2 half walls there so you can use the wall to disconnect. Then upgrade all this to metal and put a wall frame for stability or a window, whatever you need. And then we can reconnect it with more floor frames. And just like that, you have a second 8 rocket external. Now at this point, we'll add in another airlock or entrance, and then we'll start working on our second bunker. Same as before, 2 walls on the outside, door in the middle. Then you can make a little jump up here. Upgrade all that, and then add floors on the opposite side of the jump up. Then you can put another shelf on this side if you'd like. You could fit a couple boxes in there, or electric furnaces, whatever you need. And of course, pop a door on that sucker. Then we'll head up top and put in our second bunker. Add walls as I do and upgrade them to metal. And then just like we did before, we'll place a twig floor here to stand on while we place our first vending machine. Line yourself up with the middle of the triangle and the intersection of the 2 walls behind it. And then put it as far back as it'll go. There you go, perfect. And then we'll add our second one angled inwards so they can't reach it through the gap. Very nice. Then go ahead and add an HQM wall. Nice and secure. You can add a wall frame there. And then we'll add some floors above. Again, make sure they're coming off the main TC. And just like that, you got another bunker. Make sure you put a door in this wall frame for a little extra security. And I think we're ready to work on our mobility. Also, if you need early game electricity, you can spam some solar panels on top of your externals, so that way you won't have to move them at all later. Alright, now we'll start working on the main mobility. Go ahead and build a little hexagon shape out of this section of the base. Upgrade these to stone, and all of these to metal. And add a half wall here. These are going to house some of our drop boxes. You can pop your boxes in there now, and then add a low wall for simplicity. So fucking annoying. Add a window above this half wall. This will be one of your peek ups, and then you can add another half wall here. Add windows where I do, and doors where I do. And then to make it as simple as possible, we'll just build all the way up right now. Add windows here on the sides, half walls in the middle, and then more windows on top of the half walls, and then doors on the top. This is going to be a little bit easier than just doing it floor by floor. And then once you can, just upgrade everything to stone, anything you can reach from here. And then right here, we'll add the second layer for a one-way peak. We need 2 windows to do that. Have a floor right there. Go ahead and add a half-way triangle here, wall frame, and two floors. And then we can add our embrasures from on top of the floor frame. You can do them both from right here. As you can see, you get a nice little one-way angle into your second floor. They'll barely be able to see you if they're in here. Next, add a triangle floor on top of your one-way, and then add a window so you can make your peek into the second floor from above. And then you might as well upgrade these doorways while you're here. Add wall frames there for your doors. And seal this in. Wall frame there as well for another door. And then up the floor above. And then we'll go ahead and add our doors and windows. After that, we can add our PixelGap bunkers. Just pop a couple large boxes in here, and then go ahead and stand on the bowtie floors. And then look down while you're placing it, and make sure those triangles are coming off of the floors that you're standing on. And then you want the 3 little stone dots to be in that orientation in the middle on both sides. Once you've verified that you placed them correctly, you can upgrade them to Adobe to see if you can reach through the gap. And it looks like we can, so we're all good. We now have a secret loot room. So we'll just upgrade those to Brutalist to match the rest and conceal them. And then we'll go ahead and finish up the roof access. Kind of weird, we don't have a roof, but we're making roof access, but you know how it is. Add half walls like I do, and add floor frames above them. And then add the roof entrance right next to the doorway. And then add another wall frame in the middle here, so you can add a garage door there later if you so please. And then as you get the resources, just fill out the garage doors inside. You might not have the metal right away because you used a lot on the earlier sections of the base, but it's no big deal. But yeah, before moving on, I would just fill out everything, put the doors in place so no one can just come into your mobility. And one side is complete, so we will move on to the next. So once again, start here with a little hexagon shape, and then we'll build it up slowly. Upgrade the ones I do to stone, and then upgrade the inner ones to metal. And again, do a half wall right there. Cover it with 2 triangles, and then we can throw some drop boxes underneath. And then once again, to make this as simple as possible, we'll just build up each floor from the ground. Window, windows, door. Half walls and windows. Just like that, and then we can reach the top. We'll put our half walls up there, and then upgrade everything we can right now that we can reach to Brutalist. And then I would just recommend putting your deployables in right now, so you can't get messed with too easily. But yeah, go ahead, keep upgrading. Everything you can reach from here, might as well do it. We'll add a window here to make our peek up. Half wall there. Protect our PixelGap loot. And then we'll do another half wall and another window on top. Do a half height triangle here for the jump up, or furnaces, whatever you want. And seal the rest in. Then we'll add our embrasures here. Make sure you put a floor triangle in there. And boom, nice little one-way angle. Yet again. Place a wall frame here as an entrance into the second floor, and then we'll wall this off. Then we'll go ahead and toss our embrasures in. Sorry, I did the first side like a complete moron. I don't know why. You can do all of these deployables from inside the base. I didn't have to fly around. And then add the vertical ones here. We'll seal off the mobility with a garage door. And once again, we'll make another PixelGap bunker. And we'll place these triangles coming off the inner part of the footprint, the ones we're standing on. Exactly how you want it, just like that. Upgrade to Adobe and test that you can reach your loot. And we can. And to finally seal off the second floor, we'll put a wall frame in here and then just fill the space in with triangles. Upgrade all these to metal if you can. And then we'll add some bedrooms in here, just some little makeshift ghetto bedrooms. Just pop a locker here next to the jump up. And then we can place a bed in here and make sure it's as much off the twig as possible, because if you put it too much onto the twig, when you break the twig, the bed will break too, and you really don't want to waste resources. Perfect. We'll go ahead and set one up on the other side as well. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. Then we'll go upstairs and make sure we finish the other roof access as well. Nice and easy. Double door to the roof, preferably. Garage door next to it. At this point, we're ready to work on the compound. Alright boys, go farm some stone because you're going to need it. Once you're ready, come and build out as I do. We're going to build out the gatehouses coming from the main TC. We're going to come equipped with Patricos and some chain link turrets. I'm going to leave the commentary out because this is pretty self-explanatory. Just a lot of upgrading. Upgrade the wall frames for the chain link to wood, and then the rest of it to stone or whatever build skin you want to use. If you're using build skins, the half height triangle that gives you the Patrico peak, make sure it's just regular stone because it's a smaller hitbox, so you have more space to shoot from. Or if you want to be strategic and use that smaller hitbox, go ahead. Throw down all the deployables, make this a usable gatehouse. Place your embracers inward because it's easier to shoot out of them while you're standing. Upgrade these guys to stone or wood underneath me. And boom, gatehouse number 1 complete. Let's get started on number 2. We're going to go to the other side of the base and build off the mobility in the exact same way. And then we're going to build out the actual gatehouse itself the exact same way. Sorry this video is so long, boys. Really was not intending on this. And again, upgrade everything to your build skin except for the triangles that create the Patricos. Alright, now we're going to make our compound bedrooms, and guess what? These are the exact same thing as before. The only difference is that they're going to be directly connected to the base. So just go ahead, follow along, and do as I do. For these embrasures, since you're going to be crouching to shoot out of them, you can have them facing outwards so you get a smaller angle. And then in here, we'll put a locker, a bed, and some small boxes you can use to store whatever the fuck you want, baby. Look at that. And then once we've kitted up the bedroom, we're going to go out and we're going to connect it to the rest of the base so you can come out here safely to defend your territory. Build a couple wall frames for doors and then seal it off with full walls. This will give you partial honeycomb and 4 more loot boxes. Put a little triangle there and then go up to your roof with your boxes, of course, and then drop down in there and just put them in. Put them in. Can you tell I'm getting bored? Put another triangle there and then put 2 more boxes on top that you can access by jumping. Add your doors down here, of course, and don't forget to put up your chain link so you can protect your turrets. Believe it or not, we are almost done with this Rust solo base design. Congrats, you did it. Guess what, boys? We get to do the same thing all over again. Go to the last side of your compound and build out like we just did for the other bedroom. Everything being the same is just great for you guys for the tutorial because it's easier to memorize. But for us creators, man, it gets a little repetitive. Anyway, like the video if this is helpful at all, if you learned anything. If you're still here, I appreciate you. And if you're hearing this, tell me how your life's going down in the comments. Tell me what you're working on. Not Rust related. I'd love to know. Also, I don't know about you guys, but every time I search Rust solo base design on YouTube, my feed is just filled with either not solo bases or just the least inspiring bullshit I've ever seen. And I think I want to make it a little more competitive. So I'm thinking about doing like a building contest. So if that's interesting to you guys, let me know. I'd do like a skin for the prize or something, like $50 for the first one. Maybe we'll get a little more bigger prizes as we go on. But if that's interesting to you, let me know if you're hearing this. We'd have themes for each contest, of course. It would be like best online solo base or best like PvP shit shack solo base, you know? Highest raid cost, lowest build cost type contests. I don't know. Sounds interesting. But yeah, just let me know. I think that would be really fun. I'd love to see what you guys are working on, what you're cooking. Alright, if you guys need electricity earlier on, you could just do this really quick. Put your turret pod in, and then you can place a windmill right above it. And then just build yourself up like this. A little wall frame, half wall combo. And then just pop your windmill on right like that. And then you can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. And then once you've been electrified, you can just go put your turrets in on each of the gatehouses. And there you go. No one's getting close. If they do, they're getting shredded. Before we put the walls down, we're going to put our barricades in. So just come over here and put some twig down to help you guide them. And then just kind of place them at an angle so they take up a little bit more space and it's harder for grubs to sneak on through. But yeah, go ahead and do that on every gatehouse. Now we'll go ahead and place our compound walls. Place them coming straight off the bed pod. Then after that, they'll be slightly angled towards the gatehouse, just like that. Bird's eye view might help let you know what I mean. But yeah, I'd strongly recommend practicing this before you actually go onto a real server with this base because you could easily fuck this up and not have enough space for your furnace. And then you can actually place the furnace from standing inside the entrance to your bed pod. Just make sure it's as far back towards both walls as possible. But yeah, you just run in here, and then you can place it from inside the building. Nice and easy. And with that last furnace, the compound is finally done. Now we're ready to work on the shooting floor and finish up this Rust solo base design. Alright, so ironically enough, we're actually going to start the roof from inside the compound. So just go around to each of these little wall frame sections we made. And add wall frames going up to the roof. We'll just upgrade them from above later. Once you're up here, we'll start making the bedroom / roof peaks. Put a doorway on the left side and a window on the right. Upgrade them to stone. And then you can stand on top of the wall. You can stand on top of the wall frames and add a window, like so. And then do half walls over here, and then we'll put windows higher up so we can make our roof peaks. And then we'll put some triangle floors over here. Upgrade all of this to stone, and then we'll go over to our windows, and we'll place some half walls on top of the frames. And a floor frame above. I'm upgrading them to metal because sometimes I put loot in there. And then you can plug it with one of these. Do the same thing over here. And then you can place another floor there. And pop some embrasures facing inside. That'll give us those nasty little angles into the compound. And people with tall raid bases won't be able to see us when we're shooting from these because of the half walls. So it's very nice. Grab a locker and line up the left side with the doorway so you can still squeeze through, and then we'll put an embrasure so you can peek out onto your roof if need be. To get our hidden loot secured properly, put a barrel to the back of the wall and then step backwards a little bit, and then you can fit 2 in there. And there's a little gap here. Put the roof on the gap that gives it more stability so it'll be closer to the barrels. And then upgrade them to whatever build skin you want to use to access your loot and see if you could do it, which you can, which is great. So when you're done putting loot in there, just upgrade it to stone and no one can get in. And then you can add a roof peak like this to shoot at the heli or just anyone else who might be higher up on your roof. Then go ahead, squeeze a bed in there, and you can crouch, look far away, stand, you'll see down low. Got nice coverage of the compound with this room. And then place some boxes for storage and so you can crouch to peek out the window. And then you can put a campfire right there, so you can just run in, as long as you have auto crouch on. And of course, finish off the room with a door, so people can't sneak in. And of course, as you've noticed, we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Bit for bit, completely the same. For a little bit of protection, we can add roof ramps in these corners. And then we could add some wood low walls for a little bit of extra protection on the turrets. Now we'll make our vending machine bunkers. Just place a floor there and a wall right here. And then just grab a vending machine and press it flat against the wall. And then so people can't hide back here from your turrets, you can place a barricade there. Just make sure it's as far forward as possible, otherwise it'll collapse with the twig. And then you can do the same thing here on this side. If you're going to store your loot here, I would make the floors beneath sheet metal. If you're just selling loot, I mean, big whoop, you know? Who cares? And with that, the roof is complete. And so is the base for the most part, but we gotta do a couple more things. This wall leads to the bunker, so make sure it's HQM on both sides, of course. And then to open the bunker, place a floor frame there and upgrade it to Brutalist or Stone or whatever. That way you just have it there all the time. Upgrade the floors of your starter unit to Armored. On all sides of your roof drop downs, put down some floor frames and then put some triangle roofs coming off of them on each side. Add armored doors going towards your starter just to beef up the base as much as possible. Add one in front of your TC as well before you place the vending machine to block it off. All you have to do to place it is just slide it in like so. Once you've replaced this, just throw in the storage boxes however they'll fit, it doesn't really matter. And with those final touches, the base is complete. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still here, I cannot believe you just watched a 40-minute Rust solo base design video. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.